What up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Making It Look Easy with Denzel. I'm your host, Denzel, and today we're gonna break down this Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach fight. Now, this is a very controversial match because a lot of people believe that Tank lost, and even me being a huge Tank fan, I mean, if you include the knee, he technically lost. But we're gonna break down this fight because a lot of people just feel like Lamont Roach dominated Tank, and we're gonna find out if that's accurate or not. So y'all stick with me. By the way, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. I would surely appreciate it. For real. Let's get into this, man. One thing I will say, man, watching the tank fight gives you that same thing when you was watching like a Floyd. Um, because you got packed out stadiums, all the stars is in the building, and then it's just this certain emotion that you get, when you watching your favorite fighters about to perform, you don't know what's about to happen. You see how things are like the energy, the vibe in the building is just different when you watch it. You know what I'm saying? Like certain fighters. Let's go ahead and skip up, man. Want to get straight to it. Start this thing out. One thing I like about Lamont, man, he don't look scared at all. His body energy is giving, like he came to win. Right? For you casuals out there, usually like the first 3 or 4 rounds, um, the fighters they like to just collect some sort of data, meaning like they just trying to see like certain habits, trying to figure out distance, pressure. Sometimes fighters come out and they're using all the energy pretty early. So it just really all depends on the fighter. But usually like the first 3 or 4 rounds, that's what you get. Just testing the water. They got like a 20 round. They can't just like resort all their energy, um, just off of the first few rounds. But I will say I do like how Roach is, showing his presence, you know, up top down to the body. It was like Roach touching him up a little bit, just getting warmed up, you know. Now when they go to the body, that's usually it means a couple of things. You draining that energy little by little. Then on top of that, it can be to set them up for later. Now Tank don't really use a jab that much. It's not often that he really uses a jab. So, Roach like, yep, I'm already knowing what that's about. I'm right here. Now, another thing I want to point out is ring generalship. So, you really you see that over a course of a fight. Just because you have a fighter that's on his back foot doesn't mean that he's running all the time. Um, Sometimes it's to set him up. Sometimes it's just to figure out if he can't control him mentally. Can he make him turn left? Can he make him turn right? Yeah, that first round would have to go to Roach. I'm trying to find the volume level. Let's take my right here. Now for this fight, he ended up going with Barry Hunter. The one thing to remember that he has been with Barry Hunter for the majority of his career. So it's not like he's not familiar with Barry Hunter. But the interesting thing is that Barry Hunter has also worked with Lamont Roach. So right here, what y'all seeing is a lot of feints, not any punches thrown, but really you see, feet and body movement just to see how they're gonna react to the movement. You know what I'm saying? That can sometimes exhaust the fighter. So what we seeing now is both fighters seem like they trying to figure out their distance. Right now they both are fresh, so it's not like they're trying to rush in and get hit with a heavy shot early in the fight. But I will say this, I do like Roach's jab is pretty fast and speed equals power, so You don't want to get hit with none of those too early. But Tank is very twitchy though. Very twitchy. So Roach has to be careful. Now let me tell y'all something about the sweet signs. All right, you might see a fighter throwing punches in bunches, right? Now the fighter that's on the defensive side of things, their gloves might deflect barely, like almost like sword fights, like he throw a punch, roll off the forearm, roll off the glove, or it might connect, but it might not be as impactful as you would think because the fighter had a slight movement, whether if it was back, whether if he slipped it. So when you seeing these punches, it's best when you see them in slow mo to see what actually connect and what actually was effective, because sometimes it could hit, but that doesn't mean it was effective because you got fighters that are good with rolling off punches. So that's another thing to pay attention to when looking at this. Now, these two guys know each other and they know each other very well. So I can understand why, they getting a little sassy in there with each other. I'm trying to keep the volume on here, but right now, I think I'm gonna get a second round of slightly the Roach. Boom. Okay. See what I mean? So the Tank goes around the ring like that. In his mind, he's controlling him because he's making him go where he wants him to go. And it seems like Tank and them playing for real, but at the same time, still dangerous. Angles, angles. Let me see if I can go back a little bit. I want to show y'all something. Boom, right here. Here we go. Boom. You see how he switch angles? That's see. Roach was able to react to that. Some fighters they feet too slow. So when people say Tank flat footed, okay, he might fight flat footed, but at the same time his feet is still elite. He can move. What I like about Roach, he ain't fighting scared at all. He right there, straight down the middle. Let's go. Two to the body, two straight to the body from Tank. Uh, that's a block. Yeah, them boys going at it. I love the poise by Lamont. These punches, some of them are connecting, but a lot of them are really touching gloves. You see how Tank switch angles just that quick off that last punch. Boom, we switch angles again. Lomachenko was really good at that too, touching, hitting from different angles, all in one sequence. Yeah, good defense by Roach, man. I like. Yeah, I mean it's only round three, but I love what I'm seeing so far. He's letting his hands go. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's about being able to do this for 12 rounds with Tank. And fighters haven't been able to do that. I think the closest thing to it was probably Mario Barrio. I know a lot of y'all probably thinking, well, what about Pitbull Cruz? Well, we're gonna talk about that fight too, but Pitbull, he fought on one hand. So Lamont switching levels, using his feet, Tank trying to give him the reset, but Lamont bouncing on his toes. Hey, look, let me show y'all something. I know y'all probably don't think this matters, but it does. Look how Tank turns him. Boom. Comes in, turns him, gets out the way. I told y'all. Yeah, see, your boy Roach got a little bit of power on him. Oh, yeah, see, good counter, good counter. Ain't trying to psych him out by looking the other way, trying to catch him slipping. Good straight, good straight. Yeah, boy Roach is doing a great job at cutting off the ring, too. Doing a great job at cutting off the ring, even though Tank is showing phenomenal footwork. And you see how he's still in range to do that. He's not invading all the way. He's still keeping his distance to a certain extent. He's not letting up off the pressure on Tank. And that matters in the fight because it's also about posture. So this was a close fight because of that. And see, taking the plan. Tank always doing that in every fight. You know what I'm saying? Taking his eye off and you know what I'm saying, talking shit to people in the crowd, and I mean he's an entertainer, but he knew that that wasn't going to be a shot that was going to too much affect himself. Right now, it's looking like a draw. I got it somewhat even. The thing is with Roach is he is showing a lot of poise. He's calm. He's not getting carried away. Um, he's throwing in between the punches that Tank is throwing. Um, he's showing some good footwork. He's throwing some power shots and they landing. Um, he's keeping up with Tank, and that's the thing. That's what's making this a close fight. So boom, catch him with the hook. Tank took his eyes off. Throwing him out. Throwing him out. See, it's not. You ain't gotta connect every time. Sometimes you just gotta uh, shots out there just so they can feel that you see that Tank was able to get a different angle off the pussy. He hitting glove right now. That's still important. Ugh. Let's shot to the body. Yeah. See, they both going at it right now. They both going at it. Nice countering, nice defense. This high level boxing right here. You see how he switch? Yeah, see, they going at it. But ain't this what you want? This should be what you want as a boxing fan. You should be wanting to see boys fighting, not running, not laying down. Them boys going at it. It's only the fifth round. When I was watching this fight live, I already knew that this was going to be a good fight by this round. I remember. I was like, yeah, this is going to be a good one. This the round that made me sit up because I knew it was going to get turned up. Here's the thing. This is what you want in boxing. This is the type of fight you want. You don't want to see nobody running. You don't want to see nobody laying down. People coming to just get a paycheck. You want to see the best of the best get in there and give it all they got. You know what I mean? And I don't think Tank was frustrated. I think in the fight, just to get in his head. Great shot to the body. Body. Nice straight by Roach. Nice uppercut by Lamont. Nice hook. Yeah. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Rose got lucky. He didn't connect with that uppercut right there because that move was special. What? Hey, that was a nice hook by Rose. He didn't connect, but that was a nice hook. Boom, down to the body up top. You should see that coming. Nice straight, nice straight. Feet. Tank has phenomenal feet. He's making Roach move back, left, right. You see how he's using his feet and how much Lamont has to retreat. But then at the same time, Lamont is still not getting too far out of range. Hey, them boys going at it, man. And that is why people definitely feel like Lamont won the fight because he put up such a good fight with Tank. Boxing fan like myself, I can respect that. But look at how these punches are getting through. So as far as just based off of the rounds, right? I think we had round 7. To say that Roach is dominating Tank, that's a reach. That's a huge reach. But Tank knows he's in a fight though. He know he is. I knew he was. I remember, you know what I'm saying? I had to, I got serious myself just watching the fight. I like what Roach is doing right now. He applying pressure. He let his hands go at the same time. He keeping the tight defense. Straight right hand defense. You know what I'm saying? And he's using his feet, but see, he got to be careful too. We're around 7 right now. And Tank sees something. That's why he keeps throwing that straight. But he's moving his feet when he does so. Every time he keeps throwing them double straights, Roach is going straight back. Now, you gotta give Tank some credit. You gotta give Tank some credit, man. Now, it does not seem like Tank is being fatigued. It doesn't seem like he's breaking down. It definitely seems like he has a lot of poise going into this round, and now we're at the end of the round, and he still seems strong. But Lamont is definitely showing that he's in the fight, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Lamont is showing that he on that level. Here's my thing, yo. This is my thing. If Tank would have knocked him out in that round, right? They would have said Lamont was whooping his ass. Lamont was touching him up. That's what they would have said. But shout out to Lamont Roach. Even if the fight did end in this round right here, he is fighting at a phenomenal level. You know what I'm saying? While everybody's watching. I'm enjoying this fight a lot. Let's go. Round 8. Now I got it in the draw. See, this would be the type of fight that this would be the type of action that you might catch in sparring where it got out. The Tank was getting his ass whooped. Or Lamont was giving him some really good work. And that's exactly what's happening right here. And Lamont is giving him some really good work. The only difference is that the world is watching. You can see that look in his eyes, man. Lamont, he hit a win. And Lamont got some good feet too. He do. Lamont got some decent feet. But he is fighting a bit flat footed. These guys' reflexes are on a whole nother level, yo. Their skill levels on a whole nother level. I like Roach's jab a lot, yo. His jab is still strong, even from the first round. We're in round 8, and he still got a strong jab. Now, when they at a tight, hold on, let me go back. I was actually waiting on this one right here. Now, the question is, did he hurt Tank? Did he hurt Tank? Did he make him dizzy a little bit? Because it seems like it could be a few things that happened in that moment right there where Tank got clipped. But he did give him Bambi legs. You got to give him that. And that's the thing. Lamont is letting his hands go, and he is not running away from Tank and the pressure that he's also applying on Roach. He's showing good distance, but also he's showing a lot of heart. So when these fighters be like, I'm from here, I'm from there, I'm from here, I'm from there, like, this is what they talking about. See, Tank caught him too. Tank caught him as well. Boom, boom. Tank then Tank didn't see it coming, and the punch that Tank threw, he didn't catch him clean. That's that sweet science for you. I think this is the round where he takes a knee. So right now we got it 77, 75. Davis is up. And here's the thing. This fight can swing either way right now. And you see what Roach is doing, how he's letting his hands down, and then he's keeping his distance. Now, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Now, I want you to pay a close attention, because this is actually my first time seeing this. I want you to pay close attention right before Tank takes the knee. Let me see if I can pause it. I think he was blinking his eye. Yeah, right there. Right there. So he already touching his eye. And then he takes the knee. So this is the iconic picture that a lot of people um know, when it comes to this whole fight. Here's my thing. Was it the hair grease? I don't think so. I think that his eye was affected by the punches and bunches that Roach was throwing. That's what I think it is. That's just me. But if we count this knee, that takes away a point. You said my bad. That's the controversy around this fight right there. And that's the thing. Yep. And see, this is the 9th round, so you would think that somebody's going to be getting knocked out by the way these guys are going at it. But this fight went 12. And see, they throwing so many punches that it's kind of hard to even call what's really going on besides the fact that it's pure excitement. You know what I mean? They in the middle of the ring and they let their hands go. Nice jab by Roach. As a Gervonta Davis fan, somebody who buys all his fights, somebody who even would say that he's the best lightweight in the game. Even I was extremely nervous during this fight. And maybe it was there. Maybe it was the head grease. I don't know. But it definitely seemed like, his eye was being affected. See, like right there. Because it wasn't like he hit him with something and made him, touch the canvas. You know what I mean? It was definitely something. But, two things can be true, It could be the hair grease, but it can also be, the fact that Roach touched him in an awkward way. The distance is being kept with the feet right now. Tank has his hands on his wide stance. He's taking little baby steps back and off to the side. Right now we got it 87, 84. But so even with point deduction, if they would have given it to him, low key it would still be Tank being in the lead. Turn this down a little bit. So this is the thing. So far we in round number 10 and Lamont Roach is putting up the fight of his life. Now let's remember that Lamont Roach, he got beat by Jamel Herring and Shakur Stevenson's dominated Jamel Herring. So, what does this mean when it comes to Tank and, what people really think of him? Well, I don't really think it means anything because styles make fights, unless you're Floyd Mayweather. um, styles make fights. And from what I'm seeing is just right now alone, the tenacity in the heart of Lamont Roach. Because Lamont Roach is getting hit with some shit, y'all. Just like right there, he is getting hit. But at the same time, though, he is in there fighting, and that's what you got to respect about him. If you didn't know anything about Lamont Roach, or if you didn't know anything about boxing, and you just thought that Tank was going to come in here and blow this dude out, you gotta respect Lamont Roach for giving us our money's worth and fighting the fight of his life because he deserves it. Just off of where we at right now, going into round 11, you know what I mean? Like he is putting up a phenomenal fight. However, for you casuals out there, he is not winning the fight just based off the fact that Tank Davis is the champion. He's not controlling the pace and he's not controlling the ring and he's not slowing Tank Davis down. You know what I'm saying? At all. So we have to take that into consideration. You know what I'm saying? Given the fact that yes, Tank Davis is getting hit with some clean shots, but Tank Davis is still being Tank Davis. This is just a different style of fighting that we seen Tank Davis fight. We ain't seen Tank Davis have to stay in the middle of the ring and trade shots in multiple rounds with somebody. Usually somebody will end up getting knocked out. I mean, shit, look at what happened to Ryan Garcia. A lot of countering going on. A lot of countering. You see, he did it again. He throwing them he threw three straights in a row, 2 to 3 straights in a row, and he went straight back. This is sweet sign of boxing, man. This is sweet sign. If you ain't never seen it before, this right here would be sweet sign to show. Because not all these punches are landing, but all these punches are still effective. Because if he threw, like let's just say Roach, he threw a combination of like 6, 7 punches. Hey, let me show y'all something right here. This is one of my favorite sequences right here. Let me see if I can pause. Boom. So Tank, he rolled off of that one. That one missed. He got clipped with that one slightly. Body shot. Roach blocked that. He slipped that. He ducked that. He came back with the body. So he got him right there. That is the beauty of boxing. That is the beauty of boxing. Roach got through with that body. He touched him right there. Yeah, Tank don't go to that body, yo, in a very sneaky way. In a very sneaky way. Tank don't go to that body. Very tight defense by Tank. None of them punches went through. Great defense by Lamont Roach. Great defense by Lamont Roach. Very tight defense by Lamont Roach. By both of them guys, by the way. Shout out to both of them guys. Great coaching by Lamont Roach, his father, by the way. He's definitely telling him the right things to do because, as you can see, it's working. And he has now won 12 rounds with the champion and is putting up a competitive fight. a very competitive fight, a technical fight, a chess match. So we thank him for that. Look at Tank getting the crowd hype. So right now we have this 105 Tank, 104 Roach. All right, all these rounds are close. Every single last one of them. I actually gave the first one to Tank, so they kind of got it flip flop. This round matters. None of them punches go through for Roach, but he's letting his hands go. So again, it does matter in a sense. And that's the thing. They wasn't gonna give Roach this fight either way. The Tank is the champion. He's the maker. You know what I'm saying? He was gonna have to do a bit more. This signals good work by Roach. Good uppercut. That's a nice little sequence by Tank, by the way. I agree. So here's my thing. When this fight was over with at this moment, when I was watching the fight, I said, draw. You can't say that it was dominated, you know what I'm saying, by Davis or Roach. Both of those guys definitely fought a great fight. And a lot of people will say that Tank wasn't in the right headspace. There was plenty of interviews leading up, Tank alluding to him retiring. You know, him having 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the sport. So when it comes down to, you know, this particular fight, if this is Tank having 1 foot in, 1 foot out, then I feel kind of sorry for these other guys if they are getting 100% Tank, because I still loved everything that I saw. Now that knee, if you count the knee, the fight goes to Roach. Because remember, at the top of the 12th round,